And is there somebody going to take over the mantle here with you? Was there a pressure, you know, like as being an eagle?
I thought I was going to, but Jimmy ended up into the music more so.
Yeah.
He takes after his mother, you know, more than himself. Gregory, which I said from a different relationship. He's in the army. He's in the Malvapill. He's a helicopter radio operator.
Right.
This,
Yeah.
you know, he's mad into all that stuff. He always was, you know. And he probably got that from me because just I was in the Fine Airden when I was 7 years of age, you know. My mother put me in because her family are from the north, you know, my mother's side. So, yeah, it was a little bit of a Republican thing going on there.
Yeah.
But
I
obviously when the split came then,
yeah,
you know,
things
struggles
changed,
going on, things, yeah, obviously. But, yeah, I was always into the militant things as well. Plus I had a couple of friends we used to go hunting and shooting with. And it was all legal now, you know.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's strange. You know, the way things work out.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure this is a new place now. This is obviously it's a far cry from Capel, so you're right on the
yes.
You're right on the bridge here.
Capel Street was.
How long was that over?
God, it still is.
Is not, is it?
It is indeed. Yeah, my nephew was working there. Yeah.
So your nephew's taking over more a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's good news. Then,
that's
right?
the father's shop. That's his little income.
Ah, right. So he still gets looked after.
So
yeah.
obviously,
yes, yeah.
And that's like a national monument at this stage.
Yeah, you couldn't get rid of that now.
No, it's been there. God, one of the first places he had was actually in O'Connell Street, just across the road. Literally, this is a coincidence because I remember my father was down having a look at the studio association. He'd done a great job and usual, you know, seeing all the hard work I put in because I done it all myself, you know, all the woodwork, decorating, the plumbing, electrics, the whole lot, like, you know. So he comes down and just reminiscing, and I can remember this as a lad. I was about 8 years old, 9 years of age, definitely, and he brought me over to, I was owned by Frank Sherwin, the TD at the time. It was about, the bridge is named after him, you know, but the building was owned by him, but they were upstairs, and it was very, literally the fucking loft, like, you know, the tenement building, an old tenement building. Oh God, 1968.
So where G1, the skate shop is?
No. Yes. Do you know where the paper seller is?
Yeah.
Anto Conroy.
Yeah.
Now his mother is there generations as well. I have a photo of her when she was standing there when Nelson's Pillow was still fucking there, selling newspapers at that stall. You know. But that's where it was. It was
68.
upstairs.
68.
Right upstairs. You know, and I can remember going up and the distinctive smell of the pigments and the ink, you know. It was that was one of the first anyway that he had. He started off in his mother's basement in Mountjoy Square.
That's the first Eagles, is it?
Yes, definitely in 43 Mountjoy Square, in the basement tenement house, you know, the tenements, and in my grandmother's, which I didn't know because she died before I could get a chance to meet her or whatever. But that's where he started. He was only about 17, 18 when he got an interest in it. But the grandfather, Peter, he was a merchant seaman, you know, which he wasn't at home an awful lot. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because he was away at sea, whatever. And he used to do them for his mates, just on board. He didn't have a studio, you know, because it wasn't a big thing in them days. You know, he'd been to Indonesia and Polynesia and all these places.
So what was he using? Was he using just like straight needles? Like?
No, little bell coils. Little electric bell coils were just in fashion. You know, it was starting to come into electricity and whatever, you know. But Yeah, he was just doing it for his mates. And they learned to do it by hand too, from different countries around the world. You know, they've seen different tribes doing them, obviously being in the merchant sea, like, you know, merchant navy. They travelled around a lot and they got to see a lot. So I think that's where the father got the interest from. And then they, it was crazy, him and a man called, oh God, Billy King. Billy King. Yeah, he was one of the first tattoo artists in Birmingham, because himself and my father went up to Birmingham. They pawned their Sunday suits. They seen an advertisement in the newspaper. Seriously, this is, my father is 83, 84 now. You know, so when he was 17, they seen this advertisement in the local newspaper. I'm not sure what paper it was, but they went over and there was an Elwyn, same king, American seaman. You know, it died, and they had bits and pieces, a couple of little machines, belt coils. Some of them even had wooden frames, you know, as opposed to stainless steel and surgical steel, you know, and all that type of stuff. You know, it was. So they went over and they had a couple of pigments, a couple of designs, and they got the idea to go over and try and make a few quid, because at that stage in Dublin, the inner city, you know, it was hard to make a living, you know. So that's where they started.
At least they knew what they wanted to do, you know.
Oh,
they didn't end up in
shippies
or
in between that, he had worked in the airport. He was there when the Manchester United crew come in, the bodies and that, you know. He was actually in the same hangar. Yeah, seriously.
72.
Yeah, he was there working in the airport at that part time, you know, because as I said, tattooing wasn't that popular, you know. It
wasn't a full time thing. Yeah.
I wouldn't have been enough to keep you going, you know. Well, there was times when you'd have to put money by in the summer to get you through to the winter, like, you know what I mean? Because
like
winter
now,
time,
almost.
Yeah, exactly. You know, winter time wasn't great, you know.
Yeah.
Where now it's a little different. It's a little more popular, obviously, as I said. But back then it was totally different.
You were saying to me about your very first tattoo. You can't even see it now.
The little freckle. Yeah.
It's like it's.
I had to hide it from the father.
It's gone. It's gone. Yeah, I can just about see it.
Just about see it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's great, yeah.
Because I had to hide it, you know. Of course, my father wouldn't let me get them. I was still young.
Even though he was.
Even though I was doing them.
And even though he probably would have gotten a tattoo very young.
Oh,
very young himself.
He was experimenting on himself with inks and pigments, and he'd wait for 2 or 3 years to see if there was any reaction or whatever, and he'd know that was safe to use then, you know.
Strange.
But he's covered in all sorts of stuff that he obviously regrets.
Yeah.
You know, but to feed the family, he was willing to do that now. He doesn't particularly like tattoos at the moment. He doesn't like the way it's gone. You know, the way they're all getting them on their face and their necks, and, you know, like destroying themselves. And there's artists out there who are just doing anything just to get the few quid, you know, which is wrong. They don't sit down and have a talk with the people, you know, with the customer, to find out why you're getting this done, you know, what's behind it. You know, you get lads coming in and getting the girl's name done. I'm always curious about how long they're together, how long they know each other, you know, and try and give them advice, you know. Fuck off and buy a box of chocolates or something. I'd rather lose the few quid, you know, because some of them genuinely just turn around and say, oh, I'm with her about 2-3 weeks or something, you know, and he's getting a bloody name tattooed on, you know. So just, what the fuck is wrong with you, you know?
It doesn't seem right.
You know, it's not.
But that goes back to the old principle
my father's
that it's a craft.
Education.
It's craft from you, and it's also the biggest statement you could ever make. You know.
And that's the truth.